The last time Bitcoin saw a breakout on the weekly time frame, we bumped up over 50% towards the upside, and right now it is happening all over again here, and major other signals are also right now flashing and showing us an indication of a major move which is ahead of ourselves right now. And on today's update video, I'm gonna be talking about my price targets. I'm gonna be talking about the exact consolidation which is gonna be leading towards the next major breakout. I'm gonna be talking about the most important news here, because the market is clearly seeing what is happening right now. We are seeing that the Federal Reserve is bailing out the bond market with major injections, and yeah, this is the real reason why we're ultimately going to be pushing much higher for Bitcoin and stocks in general. So a lot to discuss on today's update video. Don't forget to once again slap all that like button back above 1,000 likes. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. Right now it is weekend and we're creating another CME gap, this time around $103,000 US. And you can see, just like last weekend as well here, we're creating a CME gap and Bitcoin just hovers around that price here, and usually during the Monday we tend to be filling up this gap here. So this is the exact same expectation we're having for this weekend. We're creating a CME gap, and if we're going to be trading below or above it, we're just most likely going to come back towards it on the Monday. And yes, if I'm also looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame, I'm clearly seeing a slight little downward sloping consolidation, an upper sloping support line, and basically Bitcoin is currently getting compressed on this symmetrical triangle. And really, whenever we're going to be breaking outside of the top side or the lower side of this region where we're currently trading in, I am expecting a major move is going to be happening, and a breakout for me will be a confirmation of the break of the trend line and the horizontal resistance slash support. So where we're going to be breaking above the support or resistance, that is where the next major move is going to get confirmed for Bitcoin. And to be honest, the next major move could be happening any moment right now here, because we are seeing, of course, major signals on the weekly time frame as well that this breakout is happening. Just like I showed you last time we saw this breakout on the weekly time frame, Bitcoin pumped up over 50% towards the upside. But remember, the last time whenever we had the breakout, it took about 2 to 3 weeks before the breakout really took place here. So something similar is once again expected. And right now we are seeing a bullish crossover happening on the MACD here. The last time this happened, it was approximately over here, and it also took like about 3 to 4 weeks before we really got the exponential rally higher. And also before that here, back in 2023, we had the bullish crossover. It took 2 to 3 weeks before we really saw the major move towards the upside. So something similar is expected right now here. Bitcoin is right now trading against the top side of resistance. If we're going to be breaking above of this level, I'm thinking we are probably going to be seeing Bitcoin targets and levels being reached around 122, potentially $130,000. Personally, I am going to be scaling more out of the market whenever that is going to be happening, because I do think it's probably going to be close towards the top for the market. Things are definitely looking great here, but that is of course the forecast. Then at the same time, while everything is happening in the world, we are seeing that the Federal Reserve is quietly bailing out the bond market, and honestly, the market knows here. Bitcoin knows, the stock market knows, and we are seeing already that these prices are increasing. And what the Federal Reserve is just doing right now here is secretly buying up 10-year and 2-year bonds. And yeah, with that, they're basically injecting money in the market, while most people are not really seeing that. So that's just very interesting to see. And just to give you a perspective, last week they bought over $43 billion in government bonds here. So they're secretly injecting money in the economy. And this once again just shows signs that probably a very great time for assets are ahead of ourselves, because yes, as long as the government is of course injecting liquidity, prices are ultimately going to be moving higher. And yeah, we're also seeing right now that the funding rates on Bitcoin is still negative, and that is ultimately a very great thing here, because whenever funding rates are low, it means there's no euphoria in the market. And honestly, if we're looking also at the spot volume, there's almost no volume in the market. There's no retail trading at all going on here right now. So really, the biggest amount of money is still yet to be made, and it's going to be made on whenever retail is going to be returning. So far, it is clearly not returned yet here, and whenever this is going to be returning, we're obviously going to be printing a lot of money, because we have been way earlier than the most amount of retail traders. And whenever such kind of volumes are going to be spiking, usually it also corresponds with peaks in the market. Whenever the most of the retail traders come in, it is usually marking the top in the market. Whenever, of course, most of the retail traders are panic selling, it usually tends to be marking the bottom in the market. So this is exactly what I'm looking at right now. At the same time, we are seeing that inflation in US is rising ever so slightly right now, which is of course not all too nice here. We're seeing a golden cross happening right now here, and if I'm looking at ETH, we broke the major downtrend. We are right now seeing the breakout above the very important resistance, and all we're seeing right now is just some consolidation on the market. And really, if I'm looking at most of the Ethereum charts, guys, looking at the monthly time frame, we're just seeing a major symmetrical triangle, and we exactly bounced from the lower side of support. And to be honest, whenever we're going to be breaking the top side of resistance, I'm expecting a major breakout is going to be taking place here. So the bounce already happened against the Bitcoin against Ethereum pair, and honestly, I do think we're going to see a continuation of this trend after seeing such a strong bounce from off this point here. Ethereum fees are at the same time falling very heavily, and that is of course great for adoption on the chain here. So outside of this, there's not a lot of new stuff really happening in the market. I truly hope you did learn something from this video. If you did so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and see you guys back again tomorrow on another update video. Peace out, goodbye.